Gotta do the socials. Give me a second, chat. We got a knight to build today. I was actually a little, like, alleviated when I went to go pick this knight up. Originally, I went online to try to figure out how much this was going to cost, because it's been a while since I bought a big knight. And I knew they were going to be expensive. I mean, they just are. Because you don't need a lot of them. So I went on, and whatever website I was on, I think I was on Games Workshop's site, but I was on one of those, like, weird, like, mini segments where it gives you information based on US dollar, but it's, like, from a country that has, like, something going crazy today. Or, like, something just crazy in general, right? My mind's all over the place right now. Gotta finish these social posts. Do that. Select all, copy. But it ended up being 200, despite me going to the website, seeing like a foreign country's cost of it in US currency being like 250 or something. It was 250 and I was like, oh, and man, inflation hit these models hard. But it was 200 at the store. I thought it was going to be 205, but it's still 200. Tyrants are still 194, so I think that's the next one I grab, because I'm going to try to double Tyrant like a fool. Alright, social's up. Social's done. Hang on, chat. I gotta like this picture of an owl. Nice. Here we go. Oh. Yeah. So we got the Ruinator, which is a Rampager, a Desecrator, Rampager, Desecrator, Ruinator, and Abominant. Now the real question is whether or not there's also cannons in this box, or did they just move that over to the Questoris completely? We will find out. No, head sculpt is old. It's this one. I think all the head sculpts were the same. Like, they didn't really update that. They so saturated. Yeah, loincloth, head sculpt. Even the chains on his back, those are all similar. The main differences, I believe, are the flamethrower, which I want to say is going to be a front attachment for this back part, which is a more universal back part. The missile racks, that's also new. And then this arm over here, which is probably going to be a standalone. And we're going to need to organize a lot of this to try to see exactly what I need to do in order to, like, multi-magnetize stuff. Because the worry is that I'm going to not have enough arm parts. And I'm already kind of seeing a problem. But I think it's a problem that I didn't interact with, really, on my other magnetized one, my Desecrator. Main thing is I got to get the legs done. We got to get the core chassis done. That's completely fine. We have to leave the underguns. I want to grab this guy without breaking any of the birds. We got to leave these guns and the shield blank. But we're going to need a shield and an undergun pre-made, and then we'll need the Ruinator missile launchers pre-made so we can swap between them. We're going to be doing a little bit with magnets, I think. We'll have to pick a fun head, too. I already have the Tusk head. I've got that one. I think I have the Magneto head on my Desecrator, so we'll have to see what other heads they have access to and maybe pick one. I do love the Tusk head, though. Tusk head is the best. I think only the Abominant has the tail. Which, I'm not going to lie, chat. They're all getting the tail. Oh, no, they all get the tail. Yeah, wait. Yeah. I think. Oh, no, they didn't give the Ruinator the tail. I think the tail is supposed to be... oh, no, the Rampager gets the tail. No, okay, whatever it is, it's getting its tail. I do like the tail that the Abominant gets. It's so cool, makes him look like Godzilla. So these are the Ruinator parts. The mini missile rack, the flamer, the drill gun, all of it. It's all right here. We can build those kind of on their own. This looks like the Abominant components. The tail, which we're going to want to do. The Bale Mace. The Plasma Cannon? No, this looks like it's for something else. Maybe. No, this might be the Plasma Cannon. Okay, this is the key one that matters to me, I think. There's no guns on here. No guns on here, so these are all core components for the vehicle itself. This has the Desecrator Las Cannon. It has the Chainsword and the Fist and the Arm Joint. So this isn't the worst because I did purchase the 3D prints of the battle cannons and the Gatling cannons. So if I ever want to go double despoiler for whatever reason. Honestly, I think Infernal Lance probably wants a despoiler. I'm running my Castigator just because it's a Castigator. And supposedly it's going to be legended, which is, in my opinion, insanity to legends this thing out of 40k. Because mine looks awesome. And if it's just gone from 40k, I know you're really sad. But I think the end game for me is double Tyrant, maybe an Abominant and a Despoiler, like as one or the other. I might go Despoiler or I might go Abominant, depends on my list. And then about like 6-ish, 5 or 6 little War Dogs. But I think in Infernal Lance, the Abominant is brilliant simply because, or not the Abominant, but the Despoiler is brilliant because when you've got 4d6 plus 12 attacks with the ability to go into either lethal or sustain with decent strength, decent AP, and decent damage, it's like kind of scary in my opinion. You can do lethal or sustain with that. So against like true horde armies like Green Tide, goodbye. Just point at a squad, kill it. That's all it is. That squad, I need it dead now. Guess what? That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's saying the Castigators and that size unit is getting legended. I don't think it's going to. They literally just gave them to us in plastic. They even pushed heavily to be like, you can bring them into 40k too, which I understand. For a while there, they were saying you could use Horus Heresy stuff in 40k, like, back in 9th. And now it's not in 10th anymore, and it's like, uh-oh. But if they get rid of the Castigator, I'm going to be so sad. Because I put a lot of effort into my Castigator. For them to just be like, no more Castigator. Alright, so we're going to hold the weapons aside, because these are going to need to be magnetized. It's going to come down to legs, hip joints, chest armor, back. Yeah, all this. So we build up the mainframe, and we'll figure it out from there. Definitely thinking a tail. That is, I mean, it's kind of a problem, but it's always been in Forge World, and it's in the same thing as the Titans that have been in 40k forever. And besides, like, right now, what we're seeing is, like, actual normal models getting legended. Like, just general models that have always been around, suddenly just vanishing. Which still astounds me to this day. My buddy bought 2 Tanaluses, or Tanalai, or however you want to say that. He bought 2. We put a lot of work into straightening out all the resin. You know, we were hanging out. We were getting ready to build them and paint them. We were talking through some fun ideas, how we were going to edge highlight and get all that stuff done and make them look really cool in, like, pink. And he was like, dude, this is going to be great. Legended. Immediately. No. 55, 54. Yeah, a lot of people avoid Forge World for that fact that a lot of Forge World models get legended pretty often. It's still just, it's just crazy to me. It's absolutely nuts. Because this tier of knight has become so important to so many builds on all sides. For them to just be like, let's get rid of it. But that's what I gotta be ready for, right? I gotta have my other Tyrant. I honestly think double Tyrant is going to be awesome for like a lot of the big night lists and chaos nights. With how many meta lists there are that involve uppy downy units being obnoxious, and with how a lot of the night stuff works, where you want to give like a buff to one of your knights that has a ton of weapons on it. Oh, I should probably change the blade. This is an old blade. Oh no, where did I put my good blades? I don't know if you've seen my Cerastus. I did a whole video on deciding what to do with him and building him, because I actually kind of hated how they looked. Like, they looked depressed, and that bothered me. So I did some stuff to mine. Let me see if I can grab him in a way that works. Ah. Behold the Zangor relief sculpture. The Lords of Change. The Zangor army coming from his chest. The Magnus blade. And Slaughter Brute head. They're pretty tall. I actually had to buy a whole new box to be able to carry it places. Like, that's with their base next to each other. Like, they stand about a third taller than Questoris. We put a lot of work into this guy, man. And seriously, if they're just like, and we're getting rid of it. It's like, Oh, you assholes. No. Now, granted, it's on the same sized base. I mean, I'm not. I mean, it could, from some perspectives, be modeling for advantage, I guess. But I could, in theory, run it as something else. Like, I don't know. Consider the bolt cannon a Gatling battle cannon, and then we'll just call the sword the chain sword, and we can just run it as a despoiler. Gotta be careful with this blade. This is different. I'm used to the other shape. Again, to those who are new to the stream, although I'm seeing some returning customers. Welcome, welcome. We got music over on Twitch. I'm going to try to figure something out for YouTube, but until then, if you want music while we hobby, you're going to have to pull up your own playlist there. We got a tournament coming up on Saturday. I got a test game on Thursday. We're going to test out an Infernal Lance list. I do really like Infernal Lance. I like the idea of it. I don't think it's going to be consistent, but it does have access to a Feel No Pain. And it did allow me to make my Tyrant Toughness 13. So there's that. Can't wait for a bunch of las cannons to shoot my Tyrant, and then for me to tell them it's a 5-up. I think Stalkers are going to be the new wave of War Dog that are interesting. I do think Brigands can be worthwhile, though. Brigands is the only way to bring a chain cannon and a Melta on the same mech right now. Because Stalkers, you're picking one melee weapon and then one ranged weapon. So we got 3 Stalkers, 1 meant for anti-infantry with its melee, 2 meant for anti-tank with their melee. 2 Carnivores, 1 Huntsman, which I think is going to be okay. I think Huntsmen are going to work really well right now. My thing is, I think there's a list for maybe Traitorous Lance that's going to be built around redundancy for the Meltaguns, and then you just field a bunch of Huntsmen. Because Huntsmen are pretty good at killing things in melee, like basic units. If you have enough of them, you could easily just slaughter a bunch of like standard units. But they need to be supported by something. I'm just not sure what yet. And then I feel like the goal is to stack the forcing of people taking leadership checks. And if they fail it at a -2, you're +1 to wound against them. So you would have full wound rerolls +1 to wound against Battle Shocked with a bunch of Huntsmen. I think that could be really cool. Probably should have bought glue while I was out. I keep forgetting my glue's running out. Any Knights players in chat? Anyone experienced Knights yet? Of the Chaos variety? I'm trying to figure out how to play them. So far I've had 2 armies that I've played where I've written lists that I'm like, that's probably going to be a good list. But then I don't play it right away. And then I start watching tournaments and all the people playing that army are using that list. And I'm like, ah, man. Now I'm going to go to the store and people are going to be like, this guy looks at Reddit. No. No, J. Peacock. Well, I hope maybe your lull, you know, gets a little better. I'm going to Sprugoo the hell out of this. Sprugoo! Oh, nice. Are you going to be playing them in Philadelphia, in the greater Philly area, at a place called Too Many Games, at which point I will be seeing you there? What up, a bit of everything? Yo, if you're near Phil, I think tickets just went up too. I think like a handful of people dropped out because there's a GT nearby that I guess opened up some spots or something, and they left because there were a bunch of people from Dumpster Fire going to this one, which blew me away because it is a Rogue Trader tournament. It is not great. You're looking at Too Many Games. That's the convention coming up literally this Friday through Sunday. Tournament on Saturday. You only need the one-day ticket for the Saturday tournament if you're going to play in it. They're also doing Blood Bowl. That's perfectly fine. A bit of everything. What you playing though? What did you hop back into? 40k AOS? What army are you getting into? There we go. A52. For those who are unfamiliar with the stream, I am not co-streaming. I am restreaming over on Twitch. Chat is up here. If you guys want to see what you're all saying. Hopefully your screens are big enough. Well, I imagine some people are probably watching on cell phones. At which point, get fuck nerd. I don't know. I think once I figure out how to do a vertical stream thing, if you're watching on cell phones, maybe I'll be able to condense this well enough so that people on phones can see some cool stuff. Orcs! Orcs are awesome. We're pretty convinced at the store, though, that there's like, in every community, there's only like one orc player. That's how it's supposed to go. Well, there you go. There's a lot of good hotels nearby. You don't have to take, if you're going to stay overnight, that is. You do not have to take, you do not have to take a room at one of, like, the local ones. Like, this is a big area. It's, the King of Prussia area, so there's, like, malls that people travel to because they really want to go to a specific mall for some reason. Word. Or you can just go down for the day. If you look up in a BCP, you can just type too many games for 40K. Let me see. TBZ Warhammer 2K RTT at Too Many Games. It's in Phoenixville, PA. 2,000 points. They're running Pariah Nexus, so not the new deck, sadly. There are prizes for top 3. I will warn you, the average tournament used to run, or just generally, average tournaments do 3 hours per round. This one is... Oh, jeez. And then this tournament is 2.5 hours per round. So whatever army you're bringing, be quick with it, and possibly bring a clock, because I'm bringing a clock, and I genuinely do not want to run into a Tau or Imperial Guard player without using a clock, because there is the mild chance that there's no terrain on the field. Mild. I think the place has gotten better. They did say they were going to organize it a lot more this time around, because the issue was beforehand they how do I put this? They were told 2 weeks prior to the tournament, or the event, that they could run the tournament because whoever else was there bailed. Oh, you're doing Crusher Stampede? That'll probably be perfect for this. Unless you're doing like Vanguard or something with monsters mostly. But yeah, full monster list. Just a monster mash. Probably be perfectly fine. No real issues. I'm going to be rocking 9. I got 9 knights. If I dropped one of my big guys, I could run, I think, 2 more. Or 3 more, maybe. No, it could only be 2 more dogs, because I don't have more. The store near me has the dog box. I was very tempted. Because technically the dog box is $40 more than the box I just purchased. But I do kind of want to work towards running all big knights with the all big knight lance. Dude, the big knight lance looks so cool. It has that one command point ability to take an objective, but then leave OC on the objective. Like, you leave it, and then I think it has like 5 OC on it, so you have to put 5 OC on it to turn it. And I think it's also the aura that reduces leadership. Most local game stores, at least a good chunk of them, I feel like, at some point here, maybe in like a month, are going to put all those War Dog boxes up online for sale for like $80 more. So they're going to do some good stuff. Yeah, he's just sitting there casting it. The on-field Warlord of mine will probably be my backline Tyrant. So, like, he'll just be chill. He won't care. I do want a frontline Tyrant as well. Genuinely, I want to piss someone off. I really want to play a Genestealer Cult person with double Tyrants. If I can play a Genestealer Cult player with double Tyrants and just be like, look, 48 inches of this field, you cannot place people on it. And have him be just like, what? Yeah. You have to kill my Tyrants, or you cannot place on like 48 inches of this field so long as my front Tyrant's like actually at the front. Which I think is that the detachment with Mysterious Stranger? I think it is. And I was debating being like, yo, my second Tyrant gets Mysterious Stranger. I want him to be able to just get picked up and put back down. He'd have a flamethrower and a harpoon launcher. That harpoon launcher with Mysterious Stranger, horrifying. It just lands within range of one of your big, very secure monsters and just annihilates it. I know they changed the stats, so it's not as good. It is a little bit more coin flippy than what it was before. Oh, jeez. It's probably a list I've played before, too. There's so many people near here that run Crusher Stampede style lists. And then they just change the detachments between Invasion Fleet or Crusher. Because Invasion Fleet works well with a Crusher Stampede list. It's like perfectly fine. How many Norns you got? I'm about to turn around and look at this. Am I going to be disappointed in your total number of Norns? You're playing with them, Necromancer? Dude, so many people popping in. Hello, everyone. Jesus Christ. Does anyone know? Streaming on Twitch. Combo chat. There is music going on over on Twitch. I'm trying to sort that out so that YouTube can get some form of interesting music as well. If you want to listen to something while we hobby, definitely boot something up. But let me take a look at this list you dropped in our Discord. Wait, where'd you put it in our Discord? I know people are looking for TTS games. I'm a little worried because it sounds like I might have to adjust my Discord to be a little bit more in line. If like I'm going to do 40k content, I might need to get rid of the STL channel. And then there's a chance I might have to get rid of at least the TTS modules channel and just have voice chat channels and like a looking for group channel. Oh, it's a second orc player. Oh, nice. I'm doing Infernal Lance at this tournament on Saturday. If anybody is in the greater Philadelphia area and you want to go to a convention, it's called Too Many Games. Starts on Friday. Tournament is on Saturday. They're also doing Blood Bowl, but I do not have Blood Bowl. I do not play Blood Bowl. You said you put it in pictures? Is it in Minnie's gallery? Or did you put it in whips? You could be an orc player. It's just a pic. I had stepped away. It's in the images gallery. So it's in the gallery. Do I have to scroll down? Is it already there? Or did you put it in someone else's images? Hive Fleet. Not Hive Fleet. Hive Fleet. Ah, I remember these. So this is your full list. Little brain bug, on point. Oh, you got 3 of these things? The freaking anti-psyker things? I'm guessing this is 2 Screamer Killers. You got a Uno Norn. Couple Tyrannofexes. Not bad, not bad. We've got the Tactical Lictor. Good job. Nice. No, yeah, your list is annoying. Your list might cause too many problems for me with my knights. I don't know how to deal with things right now with knights. I have a spread right now on this list of anti-tank claws, anti-infantry ranged, anti-tank ranged, mortal wound spreading, a tyrant that's just meant for full anti-tank damage from ranged, a castigator that's good anti-infantry, anti-tank, but mostly infantry, like a little bit more infantry skewed. So like I'm hoping with Infernal Lance's ability to take leadership checks and then just do sustained or lethal, basically Dark Pacting, but for knights, that I'll be able to, like, you know, circumvent some stuff. Jesus, Arch, your computer's just dying over and over. Might need to get that looked at, man. It's a bit of a problem. Oh, okay, nice. So we got some Knights players. Nice, nice. So random, are you doing? Are you trying to take like all the orcs you have and just turning them into like knights, or are you gonna just make knights themed like orcs and then still play orcs, which is pretty much just an orcs player at that point, honestly. Orcs are pretty fun. Quite possibly one of the few factions in the entire 40k universe that I could look at and go, they're kind of the good guys. Hold please, phone call. I'm familiar with MTG. Oh yeah. So if you main Nids and you're gonna try them after the new Raveners, if you get the Raveners, if you get enough Raveners, and you've got like Molochs and stuff and all, Trigons and all like the cool burrowers, check the website. I don't know if you haven't already, the Warhammer community website, because there was an extra detachment added to Tyranid explicitly for burrowers, which is of course Molochs, Trigons, and your Raveners, and you can create holes with them, and then you can bring other things through the holes like monsters and stuff. It's awesome. And yeah, orcs are awesome. We have one orc player in our local game store, and he plays the Great Hunt, which is all like war bosses on the freaking the mounts, the squigs that are like giant. He loves those, and those things hit hard. He painted them all to look like sharks and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'll be right back. I got to take something upstairs real quick. And then we got to get back on building this guy. I want him done by the end of the stream today, so give me a second. Squigs are hella cool. Yeah, the Burrowers look awesome. The Burrower detachment might actually bring our local Tyranid player who also plays orcs back to Tyranids, because that's what he loves. Loves some Burrowers. Gonna go ducklings, orc ducklings. Debating what to do about the armor plates. I think we're gonna leave the armor plates off, because this is kind of the same base model as the first Abominant I built. And the only way this worked out was because I had these plates separate, which allowed me to paint them what I needed to. And I think, I don't know how we're going to do it. We're either going to do it gold, and then I'm just going to work backwards. Oh, he is not financially stable. Most of us aren't. It's just life is too much pain to not at least enjoy something. Because, yeah, he basically has a full collection. And when I say full collection of Nids, I'm talking he has Biovores, he has the Harridan. He's gone a bit crazy. About to give you guys the Chaos Knight wiki feat. So yeah, we'll get the armor plates off and cleaned, but we're not going to apply them to him. Probably the best bet. Oh no, we're at the part of the building where the components are all over the place and I have to go looking for them. Damn you, Games Workshop. What is it? 120 and 49? Okay. Found 121 and 59, which weirdly look like what I should. No, they're not. They're the front ones. These are going to be the alternates. Oh, found him. Not a lot of mold lines on these. Technically, this is the old model, too. I wonder if they just, like, remade the base mold for it. Or just did something. Like, I'm not seeing... Like, this should have mold lines. I don't see them. Alright, how the hell does this go? Is there anything unique? Anything that stands out? Nope. All the same direction, all the same concept. Okay. I'm kind of looking forward to playing my Knights. It's been a while. I love Thousand Sons, personally. Like, that's my full collection I have right now. I say full collection, but I'm not buying a Thunderhawk or whatever the hell that giant airship is. That's not happening. We're not doing that. We're not playing that game. It's like the only Imperial armor thing that Thousand Sons have access to. Or rather, Forge World thing. Whoa, that's frosting up. I haven't seen my glue frost anything up in quite some time. So my plan is to take, I guess, 9 brimstones to this event. And then anytime I empower one of my knights, I'm going to put the brimstones on it. Just going to drop them on their base. Get that visual flair. What's up, Dark Mage? – so 56 goes on this side. We are going to be building a Chaos. We're basically building the Chaos Knight out of the Ruinator box. But we're going to be doing it in such a way... 121, where the hell did that go? There it is. We're going to be doing it in a way where the arms are going to be magnetized as well as the guns underneath his front side chassis. That way I can build him as a Ruinator. I could swap him over to an Abominant. I could swap him to another Desecrator. I could make him a Rampager. I think there might be a world where double Desecrator is a good idea. I don't know. We also got to pick a helmet for him. I'm going to have to go take a look at my Desecrator, see which helmet he had, and then try to do, like, just whatever's left. Which I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know if there's one that I'm going to like. Well, the Brimstones are just going to go to the bases. Like, all my bases are magnetized. Hopefully my Brimstones are magnetized in a similar fashion, because I didn't have the forethought to do that. So, like, we're gonna experience some stuff, right? It's gonna be great. But basically, I'm just gonna take my Brimstone bases, and then whenever I decide to empower a guy in my command phase, or, you know, once per turn for a command point, I think battle round for a command point, I'll just mark them up. Let people know. What up, Dakafang? What is going on today? Is it literally just starting streams at 5? Normally I start stream at like 11 Eastern. How's everyone going? Getting some orc representation in chat. Always good. I mean, basing, like, what are you trying to do to base? Basing is all about, like, experience for different material, right? Games Workshop has their own lines for, like, the basing pastes. Personally, what you're seeing here on this, that is, where did I put it? I might actually need to buy more. Oh, I might be out. Oh no, here it is. Coarse Pumice Gel from Golden. Dries white, and then I just paint it with Agros Dunes, or Argos Dunes, and then hit it with Zamasi Desert on a dry brush on top. Arch, what is happening to you? You are having quite the day. People mentioning me in rules chat. So you want to do a snowy base. So you bought Citadel Valhalla? Okay. Okay. Kamen Rider. So do you have... I have personally not used Valhalla. I know they say to apply a lot of the basing material with like a stick almost. Like it's like a... I use one of these when I use my pastes. It's a paint knife, small paint knife. Might be useful. It's not technically best to make the base with the paste and then glue the guy to it. That's usually not a good idea. So, I don't know. There's like ways to do this kind of thing. I think the closest thing I have is the orc player at my store. The way he works is I think he uses what you're using with the Valhalla stuff. But you paint the base, I want to say blue first, and then you apply the Valhallan. That way, whenever the cracks and crevices occur, or any like thing that sees all the way through to the base, you'll see the blue through it. And then you kind of want to hit it with like dark blue shade, potentially, like a Drakenhof. Maybe. Either that or you could really thin down like a light blue contrast or something and just hit it on there. But there's also like third-party things you can purchase that could make interesting looking snow piles and stuff. Throw them on the ground. And remember, with texture paste, you can always paint over whatever the hell it is. So if you put the texture paste down, and you're like, that's not quite the color I want, you can make your own color. The reason I use golden is because it does dry white, which means I can just apply whatever I want to it. And it just works. I'm pretty sure Valhallan's the same way, if I remember correctly. So you could apply like blue shades of some kind. You could even go back in with white paint and try to like spruce up some spots, add some texture. All right, where are we at? We're literally just getting finished the feet. So Wiki feet for everyone. Enjoy. I need the components for the waist. That's you guys. Yeah, Dakafang, are you into Crump? Or are you into Daka? I'm seeing Daka in the name, so I'm assuming that you lean into the Daka. Not so much the Crump. At which point, apologies for what occurred to the Daka boys.
Poggers.
Oh, thanks for the follow. Read that as can has, and now all I can see is the cat looking for a burger. No can has. Kanada. One of my back burner aesthetic armies that could be kind of cool. If you get your hands on a bunch of like 90s nostalgia and like 80s nostalgia things, like Pez dispensers and stuff, like old toys, like the wind-up robot with the sparking chest thing. You know, before we realized that that was a dangerous idea to have flint-based spark launching on a toy that's going to walk across like old shag carpet. You do that and orcs, and you just make like a nostalgic orc army. So there's a couple ways when you're doing subassembly, regardless, if it's knights or anything. If you feel like you want to do subassembly for whatever purpose, you can either paint it wholly and then scrape an area of paint away on the spot where you're going to glue. That's something you can just do. That's fine. As long as it's plastic to plastic connecting, you can handle that type of stuff. I still have these, so let me show you this. These were the heads for my Emperor's Children characters. I basically did a line of green stuff across here, and I stuck them to it. So the under part of their head, when removed, that's still plastic. Glues right in. And normally what I do with the Emperor's Children models I build is I take this stuff. It's kind of like a archival putty. It doesn't really like stick like glue or anything, but it will stick, which we're going to use it on components for this. Specifically the armor plating. What ends up happening with this putty is you can kind of just take it, make a shape, and then put it along where you want to make sure the paint doesn't hit, and just leave it there until you're done. Green stuff is good, but this putty, you can probably at most art stores find like simple putties that you can just use that are kind of tacky, that you could just like, you know, attach stuff to and just be like, that'll keep it from getting paint on it. And then when you're ready to take it off, you get like a paper clip or something, and you just kind of hook into it and just pull it up, rip it off. Because what we're going to be doing here, since I don't want to do these plates, and I think other plates for like the arms and legs and stuff. Oh, you can reuse it. There's going to be paint on it, but you can reuse it. But we need to do putty in this gap here. That's what connects to the frame. We're going to have to do putty in specific spots back here. But for the most part, let me show you. So a lot of the core of how my knights look is that their midsections are gold. I mean, that's just Thousand Suns for you. The decadence. But the armor plates I like to do as more of like a flat matte color that hopefully fades into magenta. Which I did a little bit of texture painting for these to fix them up recently. So they're a little bit more textured than faded. But for normal fades, we just kind of airbrush it. So we have to do the armor plates and then actually paint the trim. Alternatively, I could paint the armor plate gold, use tape to perfectly mask off an area, which I don't think I'm going to do. That's crazy. Yeah, no problem. But you kind of have to choose whether you want to subassemble or even if it's important. Sometimes if you're going to try to make your character look completely OSL'd out, there's really not a reason to subassemble since most of it's going to be about lighting. At which point you kind of want the character to be completely done and standing in the position you want. That way it just sort of works. Alright, there we go. you'll probably notice in your exploration of the hobby that there's a lot of situations, though, where you'll build something and you'll finally in your head go, oh, I probably could have sub-assembled that. You're going to want to hold those memories close. Like, let me show you something. Yeah. Let me bring you in. So from the Thousand Suns line, this is an Infernal Master. Hopefully this focuses at some point. There you go. You'll notice that cape. That cape is 3 parts around the whole back. The armor behind it has a visual aesthetic to it. And it actually has some nice details. So I actually sub-assembled this guy. I didn't sub-assemble the first one. That was a pain. But I wanted the under part of the cape to be a different color than the front. So by sub-assembling, I was able to paint it. And then actually, like, you know, make him look kind of nice. With full sub-assembly. Yeah. So, like, if you have a lot of characters that do those guns across the chest, maybe you sub-assemble that. Oh, the Scarab. You're bringing up Scarab Occult Terminators? We just finished re-upping 25 of them. Which also, for slightly more advanced things, buy a pinning vise and then buy very tiny magnets. Because you can take a flamer with this. And I can 100% swap to my flamer. The power of magnets. Which is also something we're going to be doing on this model. Every single gun is going to be magnetized, so I can swap in between all the different loadouts. I am going to have to grab my Desecrator before we do that, though, because my Desecrator, the guns I've already painted for it, could work on this model. Which would allow me access to, like, Gatling guns and battle cannons and stuff, so I have to make sure the magnets are the same polarity. I like the Soul Reaper on the terms. I get flamers. I just wish there were more of them. But I like fishing for devs. It's kind of my big thing. Granted, Scarabs are still miserable to run. Not super happy about that. They're a bit better in Phalanx, but the way the meta works, I still feel like Terminators are just not as effective as they probably could be. Which is a little sad, in my opinion. Legs. Complete. Well, sort of. We gotta do A61, A62. Trying to think of how we're going to do this, though. Because I do want to do the Chaos Knight loincloth thing that this variant gets. That could be doable. I feel like, though, the problem you're going to run into is technically you don't want to base prime them white. I feel like probably the best white scars you could make starts at a really light gray primer if you can find one. Like a really just light gray, right? This might also require a little airbrush work. Maybe. Get like white Liquitex ink through an airbrush. But you would start out at the really light gray. You would hit it with a wash that's like either a blue or a purple. Probably a blue. You'd probably rapid apply the wash too. Do it in like a squirt bottle. Just quickly go from unit to unit, applying it, let it dry. And then hit them all from like a zenithal position with an airbrush with white ink in it. Not a lot either, just a little bit. Because just having pure white on a model tends to not look that good. It's why when I eventually went and bought some Army Painter Fanatic line war paints, I bought their Brigade Gray, I think it's called. Brigade Gray is quite possibly the closest you can get to being full-blown white without, like, actually just being it. Like, it's... Where is it? It's this. Brigade Gray. That is so close to white, it's insane. But it's just not quite there. And I think this is a great way to, like, build to, right? Like, you get to hear from whatever tones and stuff you're doing. And then maybe, just maybe, you do apply pure white, but it's on specific highlight parts to really make those sections pop. It is hard, though. Doing white armor is it's a very difficult game. Any little thing that messes up just makes it difficult to, like, go back and fix. While also trying to provide visual interest. That could work. I would say apply like a wash before you do the bold titanium white. Maybe. Nah, you could probably apply it after. You just got to be very careful about like cleaning the areas that are at peak that you want the wash to not be on. All right. That could be cool. I don't know a lot of people who do like White Scar style Space Marine armies, like bikes, ATVs. Do they even have like speeder style things anymore? Like good ones. I just never see them. Makes me a little sad. Then again, I'm also a little sad that Chaos Space Marines still don't have like proper bikers. Apparently bikes exist in the codex, but if I want to buy bike models, I have to like straight up convert stuff. I think if I ever ran Chaos Bikers, I'd probably buy Chaos Knights from AOS. And then just use the spare bits I have from Legionaries to make them look like Chaos Space Marines on horses. Yeah, full Phobos and Outrider. Okay. I could see Phobos. It's not a half bad idea to get a mechanics ATV. A lot of Space Marine players are leaning into ATVs. Specifically for like the minor, like score this objective kind of situation. There it is. I'm still kind of mad that Emperor's Children dropped without Doom Rider. It was absolutely the time of like the new bikes. Like that really should have been. That really should have been what we got as like extra units. Oh no. Hang on. I do really hate this part of putting these knights together. These stupid leg pistons that never want to snap into the exact spots they're supposed to. So they always wonk out and bend a little. There we go. Hopefully we do get Doom Rider at some point, Phoenix. I was really hoping to play an army based around Doom Rider. Because honestly, they could have put Doom Rider in for the transport list as well. They could have just added his functionality to the transport list. It would have been awesome. Alright, let's get the armor plates ready, but we don't glue them to it. That was probably my top 10 missed opportunities for a faction release. I get the whole like Noise Marine thing, but like let's be honest, Infractors are just so close. Like Infractors and Tormentors are so close to Legionary. Flawless Blades are just 3 models. Lucius looks nice. Fulgrim's okay. But they could have just been like, all right, you also get bikes and Doom Rider. Because I really hope the new Chaos bikes just look like straight up Centaurs. It's just a Chaos Space Marine guy on the front end of some like bike wheels. Screaming and flailing about. A Sonic Dread, yes, but also far-fetched. Although, I will say, Hellbrutes seem to be very consistently out. So, like, I don't know what's happening there. I think they might be trying to redo the Hellbrute box. We just pretty consistently never see them anymore. Alright, so I can't glue this on until the leg plates and everything are on. It's fine, we'll just keep it all separate. This is where my sub-assembly comes in. And you can kind of see, right, like this area and here. That's where the glue matters. So what I would do, take a little putty, which is getting kind of dirty sitting in my drawer over here. Don't necessarily need a lot. We really are just missing 1 or 2 models. I don't even need backline. That's kind of my thing right now. Is that I don't need backline. So you just do putty there. And now the paint won't go there. Probably also just do the other side. We also got to do this spot as well. Ta-da. No. Oh, yeah. Well, so this is a fun thing. they kind of have like the fast Raptory type stuff, but Warp Claws are also Tzeentch made. And Tzeentch don't have access to their own individually developed and made specialist type unit, which kind of understandable. I mean, it's just weirdly themed to be like, I play Thousand Suns. Check out my Warp Claws. Although, let's be real, if you could have a detachment that's like Helldrakes and Warp Claws, I'd love the hell out of that. I'd piss off every single Night Lords player in the entire world by just showing up and being like, I play more interesting Night Lords. But yeah, we're missing one or two models. I don't think they need to be ranged. I know that that's what people want. Like, everyone's like, where's our Forge Fiends? To a degree, sure. I would personally love Forge Fiends. But at the same time, I don't think we need Forge Fiends. I think we need, like, really good bikers. Like, if our bikers could have, like, charge mortals and just be, like, faster versions of Khorne Juggernauts. Slightly more glass cannon-y. I will probably have to scrape paint off of some of this, which I'm not that worried about. I want the main joints, though, to be puttied. There's a high chance we don't get this finished today. Might be able to go for another hour before I gotta get to work. We'll definitely get back into this tomorrow, and hopefully we can get to the point where I start utilizing the magnets. This one will probably have to be scraped. Putty applied. At this point, they do suggest gluing it down to the base. Maybe. Yeah, maybe we do that. Big base. We can glue it like this to be obnoxious. Yeah, EC Jetpack would be cool. I mean, granted, it's also a little crazy because let's be real. Our basic EC units move faster than jetpack units. Like, oh, every time someone walks into the store when I'm playing my EC against someone and they look down at the board and they see the combat happening, they're like, "Man, how close of a game is it?" And the answer is always, "This is turn 1." All right, mid-body shell. So, like, on one hand, would be cool. On the other hand, I imagine our bikes would move 14 inches base. Like, the only thing making them slow is mounted. I am fairly excited, though, about the changes to Knights explicitly because of stuff like Emperor's Children. I don't know how much you've been playing, like, in general. I think you were one that was talking more about playing with, like, friends, mostly. I know you said you played a lot of, like, shooting gallery stuff. I think that was you. Which hopefully you guys work out better terrain setups to more suit a sense of, like, universal balance in combat. That'd be good. But the last tournament I went to, what was I playing? Oh, I was playing Thousand Sons, right? Mutant Herd. Before that, I did play in a tournament where I played My Emperor's Children. Specifically, I believe I was running. What did I have? Oh, that was the time when I ran Mercurial, but I had a bad list for Mercurial. I should have just ran the transport list. That would have been much better for me. The last person I fought was playing Knights. I was playing Mercurial Emperor's Children. I had so much Noise Marine stuff on the field. I had a really interesting system with really big squads of infractors. I have never felt more oppressed in a game than that game. Just dumping everything I had into single models and just killing nothing. But now, with the toughness drop, Noise Marines just become far more efficient. Because, like, your big cannon attack now wounds on 3s into most War Dogs and Armigers, which is so good. Before, I think it was 4s, and that's just not great. Like, that's terrible. The little guns also only wound on 6s, now they wound on 5s. So just, in general, the bracketing for the little War Dog and Armiger units, so much better for Emperor's Children. Now it comes down to how do you deal with the big knights. And that's about it. And honestly, big knights, on average, can't kill enough individually for most people's lists to worry. You just focus on scoring. And your opponent won't be able to just outkill your scoring units. They only have so much OC as a model, so you could easily just run onto an objective with like 10 more OC than them. Just take it and prevent them from getting mains, and it's just like, whatever. Who cares? You did it. And because of that efficiency, the hope that I have is that other people's army lists are going to change to be a little bit more skewed into like the middle of the pack for damage output, because you can always get more units that do middle of the pack damage. And you just don't need to be as worried about las cannons anymore. Because from other detachments, there should be more horde lists that are a bit better now. Horde lists that'll be able to easily get past knights. Which just means top tables are a little bit less skewed into being cool with las cannons and stuff. It's just going to see a little bit of a change here. At least that's the hope. Upper body. Alright, which side's which before I screw up? Okay. Okay, that's good, actually. We're getting into the big stuff. Citadel glue's fine. But locally speaking, there's like my local company, or my local game store rather, this is a very common glue you can find on Amazon, or it's like premium adhesives or whatever. They get it for super cheap, so they also sell it to us for super cheap. I like this because this is extra thick with 2 C's. Which means when you actually apply it into the gaps and try to glue stuff together, normally what happens is once it's done drying, the glue itself sort of gap fills. Not every time, but sometimes. Whereas the plastic glue from Citadel really doesn't do that. Not only that, but this is one of those chemical adhesives that actually kind of melts the plastic together a little bit. It's not a lot. Normally, that's what you want Tamiya for, because that'll melt stuff together. This is sprue goo, however. I don't know how familiar you are with sprue goo, but if you have Tamiya and it's starting to run low, you can cut up sprues that you're not using, throw it into here, and it'll melt over time. That way, if you have gaps in your character, you can kind of apply it, and it is basically just liquid plastic. Once it dries, you're going to have to, like, you know, shape it with a razor blade or something, but it will fill gaps. It's pretty awesome. Sprue goo! And there's a bunch of variants of this as well. There's the extra thick, there's thin, there's rapid dry. Basically, you have to spray the surface of it and then apply the glue, or vice versa, and it like instantly dries it in the shape that it currently is in. So you can do some fun stuff. Alright, what are we looking for here? I think I found it. But the few times I've used Citadel glue, it kind of works. It's just, for the quantity, the cost doesn't really feel efficient. Which is why I look towards other companies. 86, so 85 is the right-hand side from what we're looking at. Oh, that's not bad. Why is he discontinuing? Just no one playing it? There's a few small local game stores near me that are like, we're just going to focus on trading card games. It's the biggest margins. But I'm also starting to hear that, like, the trading card games are getting a little weird with their margins, where sometimes it's fine, and then sometimes it's not. And then sometimes the allocation is bad. And then it's like, that's got to be a whole mess. I am surprised the one store near me isn't like, we're going to discontinue it too. But that's just because, like, they don't do anything. Like, they used to run events and tournaments on a monthly basis back with the old owner. But the new owner is just like, I don't like setting up tables. I don't like having people to run these things. Even if those people are going to, like, volunteer their time to do it. I don't like any of that. I just want people to go back there, open card packs, pay for some more card packs, and just play card games. That's all I want. It's just easy. It's like, alright, man. Don't complain if no one buys the models you're purchasing because you're not running any events or doing anything to push the game in the area. All rural South Carolina. What up, Rex? So yeah, you got the rural stuff. It's crazy. I mean, I guess card games are better for rural because you could have literally a box in your pocket, and if you're just like waiting for something to happen, and you got a farmhand near you that also plays the game, it's just way easier to be like, yo, let's just get a round in. So it matches the environment, I guess. Hopefully you find a group to play with if you haven't already. I really gotta hop on potentially finding a kill team group locally. Oh, nice. So you do have a Warhammer store. Okay. That's good. I've seen pictures of people deployed on missions as Warhammer. Like, they're deployed on missions and they're playing Warhammer just in their base, and it's a big table, and they just have these blocks that they've just made, right? Like wooden blocks that they write on it what it is. I can never remember which side I'm supposed to put down. Do they play Combat Patrol at the store? That's usually an easy way to play with stuff that isn't like weird feeling. Because at least at Combat Patrol, it's kind of balanced around like not having certain abilities. The Demon Prince in My Thousand Sons Combat Patrol doesn't have his anti-tank attack. It's also not lone op. So like there's layers to it where it's like, oh, that's actually a little bit better. It's more manageable. You can get the rules down pretty easily in that format. Go in! Please. Oh, is this not the right side? Depends on your location. I mean, okay, so anything is possible. You have the rules. You know the base sizes. If your friends are just trying to tinker with stuff, it's perfectly fine to be like, here's a base, I glued a shape of something on it that's about the right thing. So long as you guys are very aware of what everything is and does, you can play with your friends any way you want. Now, when you get into things like tournament play, playing at the store, stuff like that, they usually want the models because that's, you know, indicative of you having spent money, which is sort of like your ticket into these situations. Because as of right now, tickets to go to 40K tournaments is usually not that bad. Because, I mean, there's tends to not always be like prizes and stuff. But also, it's like a lot of people just do it for the love. And in response, most of these events are like, well, you can play in this 200-person tournament and the ticket's like $40. It's like, oh, okay. I'll get on that. Well, that sucks. Time for you to convert them. Like a door-to-door Jesus salesman. Or to maybe own a couple different combat patrols, and next time they're around, they can just grab one and you can play. That's kind of the benefit of combat patrol. Like, if you personally look at the combat patrols and go, there's maybe 4 armies you want to try out, you could buy 4 combat patrols over time, put them together, paint them, and then you've just got them laying around. And then when your friends are over, and it's like, yo, you want to play combat patrol? Which one do you want to play? It's like a different kind of step. Take the beer hammer approach and just kind of like hang out, talk, knock back a couple cold ones, just play a game and roll some dice. All right. Chaos Knight roll cage glued on. Now we gotta make this head actually work. Where the hell are the head parts? There's actually a few people at the local store near me who are almost exclusively about playing. I gotta remember, I can't put these on either. I have to do these separate. But they're almost exclusively about playing skirmish style games. Like, that's really their bread and butter at this point. They'll do Spearhead. They have a couple kill teams. Couple combat patrols. They only play small scale. Because they can't exactly devote to like a full-blown ridiculous game. It's nice because it's casual, right? Like, 2K feels crazy, especially if you're kind of just going all out. If the person you're playing against in a 2K scale sort of plays casually themselves, that can be enjoyable because you'll get a situation where, like, I would play Phalanx and I would play with 25 Terminators, and then whatever else I could fit in, that's just all rubrics. And then I would just go and be like, this is my army list. And it's just a dumb army list that shouldn't work. And then if your friend does the exact same thing, where it's just like, this is a dumb army list that shouldn't work. I mean, there's a very good time boiled into that. It's once you get to the big, like, major scale of the game. Yeah, like, you're absolutely crazy for what you're doing. I once killed a Screamer Killer in a single shot. Like, that stuff's crazy. And I did it with a model that was like pure risk when I tried it. It's when you get to the people who build lists around like mass scale redundancies that you start feeling like, it's a little off-putting. Oh no, I think I did this wrong. I did do this wrong. Oh no. No tail for this guy. Unless I might be able to convert the tail onto him. Honestly, we'll just pin it. I completely forgot that this ass was completely different. Technically don't need it. I'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. It's unnecessary. If he's walking around with tentacle arms and a big plasma cannon-y thing, it's obviously an abominant. There should be no doubt. I mostly want the tail because I did the conversion on all my war dogs with their little tails. You don't call them war dogs and expect me to not put a tail on them. I'll figure out how to convert the tail onto it. We'll sort something out. is what I get for being semi-tired. I've been helping my dad. He wants to frame the basement at his house in so that they can finish the basement with drywall and all that stuff. So I've been helping him frame everything past couple days. That's why we start stream late. It's because I usually go over there around like 11. Just put a panel wall till like 5. You gotta be careful with this one. Make sure it's the right side. Don't think it is. Okay. The goal here is to not hit it with too much glue. You kind of want it to be very sparse, just around the outer edges. Then apply that. A little bit there. Skull face. This is the really hard part. I hate that they did this. There needs to be a better way to connect this. You kind of want to just touch the outer part. So, oh, that gnat's back. Goddamn gnat. You gotta just put that there. Is this not the right part? It should be. Is there a bigger one? This seems too small. This might be for like the shield or something. Looking for A33. Oh, I found it. Oh, my fingertips are going to be messed up after all this. Alright, hopefully that holds. Let's get these side pipes together. That's what I get for living near a stream. It's just constant. Hanging out, having a good time. All of a sudden, random gnat. Face pipes. Oh. Appears that the glue made it to the middle part. Oh well. We tried. Oh yeah, that's just fully glued. I tried so hard to prevent that from happening, and it's just like, nah. We made it. Whatever. Whatever. Let's do this bit. Like that, right? Hell yeah. We'll glue these in separate after the fact. Probably shave it down. I think the only ones that actually matter for that are up here. So in theory, I could do a little bit of the putty over here. Make it easy. Put some putty in here too. This is where the variances start to occur. pretty sure we're cool to glue him to the surface, though. Where'd the little thing go? What's most likely going to end up happening here is I'm going to figure out... I'm going to put magnets on this. Get a little magnet. And then we'll just do the tiny magnets attached to the shield on the one side, the stubber, and then the missile racks. That's how this will go. So let me just glue this on for now. Because it's fine the way it is. Just don't want to lose the part. Things we need to do. We need to be mildly selective. Get some armor off of this. Ruinating the villagers. So the question is, do I attach now? What's this triple dot? I do like that I'm going to have an Abominant armor style despoiler and all that, just because the other one that I have is a Questoris. I kind of want to look online and see if the battle cannons are sold from Games Workshop. Pretty sure they're not. But I did think there was a variant of them that was made to look like Chaos Space Marines. We're hopping and chilling for a little bit. There we go. So I do think we apply this. Might glue a Zangor shield there. Maybe. I think we'll stop before we get to the weapons. As long as most of the armor and everything is out and cleaned, I think we're fine. Weapons, we'll have to spend a bit of time alongside the magnets and all that tomorrow. Because we have to verify that we have enough parts for certain things. If the guns don't have enough, like, side pistons, we got to figure something out. If the side pistons are even necessary. Figure out which aesthetic enhancements we actually want to apply to the surface of this thing. Because I did all vultures on my current Abominant, so maybe we don't do that here. Maybe we actually go for the spikes, like the big spikes. Including the spikes that are chained at like the top components. That could also be good. Oh, there's so many bits we get from here. This is why I love the Knights box. Bits are so useful. Orcs love bits, but like, for some of the stuff I do, I just need so many bits. It's endless. Let me see what thing I want to attach to his component. This one. No, I've got maybe like 5 tackle boxes right now filled with Votan parts, some or some Necron parts, some Harlequin parts, boatloads of Thousand Sun parts, a good chunk of Legionary and Havoc parts, a lot of Death Guard parts, some Demon parts. Like, I've got so much stuff. Absolute insanity. Right? I mean, I'm basically going to be playing Kill Team in 40k with this type of stuff. Just different scales. All right, let's get the back components done. I'm assuming, based on this imagery, that I should have enough parts, because one's going to involve this sort of like wraparound thing for the stubber, and then it looks like the missile launchers are like on their own. So I should have the ability to magnetize these easily. Let's put a magnet on top here, and then just put a magnet attached to the top part there after I cut it off, and then same thing here, and then you just snap them on the bottom. Should be good. Let's get the vents put together. Yes, if my little guy is moving, I'm talking. I keep getting phone calls. Like all day long of just like random questions. So I keep having to like take a minute to talk to some people. A little annoying. I'd rather just, keep working on stuff. But it is what it is. Ah. I think we got to pick a helmet here in a second for him. Maybe. I think the helmet might need to be painted separately. Because some of them have open spots for like color. At which point I'd probably want to gradiate the color. Just means we'll have to glue it on after the fact. These definitely have to go on later. I might putty it up as well. Alright, pipe set. That just moves into the weaponry for this guy. Let me see what helmet my desecrator has. So the Desecrator has a front tusked... Oh, I see what I have to glue here. He is the front tusked, not like long tusked, but like short helmet that looks kind of Magneto-y. Which means long tusk helmet, Slipknot mask helmet. Which means we can lean into... Do we want to do the Screaming Skull helmet? What else we got? Those are the long tusk helmets. I mean, I like the Slipknot mask helmet. It's nice. But I feel like just having a bunch of people with the same helmet is a little annoying, especially for a model like this that has access to like 7 different masks. I think we'll go Screaming Skull. Means we will paint it separately. We'll do that one. I think that'll be fine. Set. Final concept is like armor stuff, really. Which we can technically set up early. Kind of. One of the ones I would want to set up actually involves the shoulder pads to be in position, though. The ones where it's like a spike coming up and then another and you put a chain between them. Maybe we do those separately and glue them all on together at the end. Speaking of which... Putty up. Oh, I gotta get the knee armor cover as well. Completely. Oh wait, no. That's right. This one kind of has like a plate, so it's a little bit easier. It's not like the other ones that have like that weird knee joint. The only problem with this putty is it's not as sticky as it probably should be. You kind of have to force it down and eventually it holds, but it's not always perfect. Almost done. See, after this point, it's all armor. Or weapons, rather. I need to find the other cross slot on this side. So we can just attach it and get that over with. Oh, my back. Oh, big stretch. Always remember to stretch and hydrate while hobbying. I think I'm not seeing all chats. Hang on. Oh, the Twitch chat's just not showing up in the actual chat box. Cool beans, program. Cool beans. It's the greatest of magics. Always be drinking. ABD. I feel like I'm missing something. Don't think I am, though. At this point, yeah. It's just build guns. Build the arm connector. Maybe figure out how to reassess this thing to have a tail, potentially. Might do some green stuff magic, get that to work. We can put magnets in the bottom of the base. Get them started up. The glue. It's glued itself shut. As is its wont. Seems legit. This one might be a little too high up. Yeah, I think we're good. Magnets glued in. Let me double check to make sure we've got enough small magnets for this next bit. As well, we need big magnets too. I think we have enough small. Yeah, there's a big batch there. Big batch there. That's good. Where's my large magnet box? I don't know if these are the right size. I should have a different box, though. Ah, found them. Bam. Is this tape shut? Ah, there we go. These should be about the right size and thickness to be put into the actual arm connectors, allowing us to just hook the big guns to where they need to go. So from the look of it, if you wanted a spoiler, you do have to buy a Questoris Knight still. Which I'm pretty sure that's what I did before. I don't think they changed this. I'm pretty sure this used to just be a Rampager, a Desecrator, and an Abominant. Now it's all of those plus a Ruinator. Because I'm pretty sure I bought my Questoris to get the battle cannons prior. Because I really wanted battle cannons. And then I built it and I was all happy. And then I just turned it into a Desecrator. I was like, this is fine. That's all I need. That's it. So yeah, we got to finish this guy, put him together. We'll be doing a lot of magnetizing. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We gotta magnetize so many guns and attachments to this thing. And then once we do that, I can't imagine we're doing it this week. Because tomorrow's Wednesday. We can do the magnets then, that's fine, depending on what my schedule is. After that, I have a test game most of Thursday. So there's no way in hell I'm streaming Thursday. And then I'm gone Friday through Sunday. Again, if you are in the greater Philadelphia area, there is a convention going on called Too Many Games. I'm going there for my job. And also, there is a tournament on Saturday, all day, for Warhammer 40k. And that is what I am bringing my Chaos Knights to. Not this one. This one's for later. This one is this one's an idea. Because in theory, Ruinator could be good if you're in the Traitoris Lance and you can hand that aura out to a bunch of stalkers. Or even brigands, for that matter. Ugh. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. I gotta get to editing. Not my own videos, sadly. One day, ladies and gentlemen, one day, we'll get a video done. Until then, we'll just have to distract ourselves with these hobby streams. Till next time, guys.